All right, everybody. We are live. We are live. Welcome to the Social Experiment Show. We are live today in the studio at the downtown Erie YMCA at the Team Center. I have my man, Mr. Donny Brown, here with me today. We're going to have a conversation on social experiment. We're going to discuss some different things. We're going to talk about some different topics. Make sure that when you get on here, you like the videos, you comment, you share, you subscribe to the channel. This should be a great conversation. Um, I've been knowing Mr. Brown for a very long time. Like being a kid, playing basketball at the YMCA. I remember Donnie just being all over the place, all over the floor, and knocking down threes. And then him and my cousin Mike been real good friends. So just having that relationship with him and seeing some of the things that he does in the community and some of the things that he's been doing with himself, like I feel like this is a great opportunity for me to have this conversation with him. I feel like he's going to be a great person to interview and we can get a lot of good insight. As you all know, we've been having these conversations and we've been doing these interviews and we've been calling a bunch of different people. I think this is interview number 24 in the last, I want to say 3 weeks. We've had some great conversations about building men, about mental health, about work experience, about, just different things. So I figure we're going to continue to have different people on. And I do my volunteer day down at the YMCA on Wednesdays now. So for anybody who's looking for some type of volunteer work to do, make sure y'all come down here. Some group of young individuals who could use some support, who could use some help, who could use some love. And Mr. Brown, he also comes down here and does his thing at the YMCA as well. So I figure why not come down here, have this conversation? We got some kids who's going to be watching us in the other room on the screen. So I just think it'll be a good thing. It's going to be a blessing. It's going to be a wonderful thing. And I'm glad that everybody's tuning into the show. Um, Again, like I said, my guest is Mr. Donny Brown. And every single time I have a person on the show, the first question that I always ask them is, what made you interested in coming on this show and having this conversation with
Well, yeah, me being here, I have to give Deontay Cooley his flowers first. We have to get that. This man, I seen him grow up. And that, when I mean grow up, I seen him become a young, bashful kid that looked like he was nowhere. He didn't know where he was going to go, to now a positive influencer, real estate. I mean, doing a lot of great things in this community, a lot of great things. Coming down here, just doing this for them. It's just helping these people out. It's just beautiful, man. And y'all don't, if y'all don't understand, man, look, I appreciate everything this man is doing. I appreciate it. Great guy. Like, you get what I'm saying? Just look at the body change, man. Like I said, so man, you just got to go back and just give this man his flowers too, man. It's like, and I'm not a man of gratification and just anything like that, man. But I just want to just tell him that I appreciate everything that
you?
he's
Move that
doing.
mic in.
Okay.
Move that. Just move it
Uh,
closer. Pull it to you. Somebody said they can't hear you.
okay. Can y'all hear me now?
All right, go ahead. Keep going. We're going. If not, I'm gonna have to put this one in the middle of the table. But
Okay.
but go ahead. Finish it. Finish. We got the comment section going. We figuring it all out as we go. This is new.
But me, I'm always here to help. I mean, I don't like to be in a limelight or things like that. If you know me personally, you would know that. But I love to help. I love to just to give back. Um, and that's just, I mean, it's really, that's just what I do. So I have to give flowers. I mean, I have people in my life before, um, that's not here, from the Ed Darnells to my grandparents, and you know, just people that's here, to the people that is here, to my, mom, stepdads, to Big Mike Darnell, to Corey Coleman's, to my little cousin Quail, to little Deontay, and I'm just seeing him grow up. I mean, just seeing this. I mean, it's just uncles, just, I mean, just everybody. So it just, I have to do, from to old coaches to, just everybody just here. So why wouldn't I give back?
Thank
That's
you.
it.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. See if you can move that a little closer too. You might have to put the legs under the table or something so you can get closer so they can hear you.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, but yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate that. And I definitely appreciate the flowers. You know how important that is to me. I feel like it's very important for us as men to be able to acknowledge one another. You know what I mean? And kind of give each other compliments, because I feel like that's definitely an area to where we lack certain things, as far as like having a macho concept and having too much pride, to where we can't look at each other like another man and to be like, I'm happy for you, I'm proud of you, congratulations. But in a real quick, we can look at each other and give each other the mean mug. So I definitely appreciate the flowers, appreciate the compliments and stuff like that. But like I said, when we get involved, like I want to know, like, who is Donny Brown? You know what I mean? Who is Donny Brown? Why are you important? Why did people say bring you on this show? Like, kind of give us a little bit about you and who you are.
Donnie, I'm just a regular guy. I wouldn't say I'm too important. I'm just a man in this world. that is here, just to show, just to give flowers to the, to the young community, just to help. I'm just a helper from an upper source. I know that I'm lucky to be here in 42 years of life that I've been here. So why would I not come help out the young man that's just here? Can you hear me now?
No, this the mic right here. We gotta talk to him. We're gonna have to get this job. Move
They
this up.
said they can hear me.
Y'all can hear him? I mean, so yeah, like we working on some sound. Like I said, we in a new studio with a new place, so we trying to figure some things out. So we're gonna keep it going. I might have to put my mic in the middle of the room and get it going. We got some folks in here helping us get everything together. But so when you talk about stuff, like kind of take me through it as far as like growing up. You said you're 42 years old, and I believe like this day and age, like that's a blessing for us, especially as black men, with the temperature of the world and the way things are going. So when you talk about being 42, like what was the journey like for you coming up? What was your family structure like? Like, what was your sibling situation and things like that? Like, how was?
Came from a very young family. Mom was young when she had me, like very young, early teenage young. Dad was young. Grandparents was like young, uncles and everything like that was. Came from a very young family. Came in the era where it was an in-your-face era, like right there. Really, electronics just start coming alive. Had to be outside all day, no matter what. Come back in when it was late. So it came from an era where you had to really stand up, or you fail.
Right.
Like it was just straight up and straight down. If you was on that sidewalk, you was there. If you was in the streets, you was there either way. And I learned at an early age where you have to make grown man decisions, where you just basically had to see where you was going to be at. As in me, I learned from others. I learned from great friends, and all my friends was great. I learned from friends that didn't have a lot, and I had what I had, but I learned that they made that mistake, so I'm not gonna make it for them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna be the second person that make that mistake. And
So like grow up, like coming up, like as far as like having friends and stuff. Like, do you have any siblings? You got siblings?
Yeah, I have a sister.
Okay.
I have a sister. I have on my mom's side, I have one sister, and on my dad's side, I have a bunch of brothers and sisters.
So your mom, you said one, and it's a bunch on your dad's side.
It's a bunch on my dad's
so
side.
Like, and if you don't mind me asking, or kind of sharing a little bit, like growing up in it, like was it like all in one house? Was it a broken household? Like, did you spend a lot of time with your father? Like you did say your mom played a big role. So as far as that, like
yeah, my mom, my grandparents played a good role. My mom played the biggest role. My stepdad saved everything about my role.
What do you mean when you take us through that? You say your stepdad saved everything about your role.
He connected me with sports. Took me up to video games, even though I still play them to this day. But he connected me to sports. If it wasn't for him with the sports and saying don't quit, or I'm not letting you quit, then I would have quit. That's what most kids did, And if it was him, he came with the old school logic of just you're gonna start what you finish, and I'm pretty sure when you finish, you're gonna love it. Okay. And that's what has happened. But my mom is a regulator.
Right.
Mom was like, yeah, she was there. Sister was there. My dad and them side, the siblings learned them as a little bit later as we went down the line.
Okay.
But all love. But going on siblings, my cousins was my brothers and sisters.
Okay.
So going down from dad and them side from Quell to Devon and Tika, Brian, Tone, to them, everybody. So from that first era they basically was right there from A all the way to Z. So that was brothers and sisters to me, even though they're cousins, they're like my brothers and sisters. Like that was like that's how we was raised in that era.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. So it's good that you show love, and it's good that we have those people around us, because I definitely understand like the importance of having different people in our lives growing up. Like me, I was a community center kid, you know what I mean? So I was enrolled in all the different community centers, and I had a bunch of different role models, and I had a bunch of different people play roles in my life. And even like as yourself, like I had a couple stepfathers actually who kind of played different roles in my life as far as like development of me as a young man into a man. So it's good to hear you say that. So my question to you is pretty much is like, how important do you think it is for us as men? Like, what role do we play in the development of young men or development of men in general? Like, how important is it to have the male interaction and the male influence? How important was it for
It
you?
is 75% important.
Okay.
Like, because it can go either way. It can go either way. You can have a male there, and if the male is not a responsible adult, then all them bad habits that they're seeing will become your bad habits, no matter how you say it. So if that male is a responsible adult, even if you don't want to pick that up, you're picking it up. You're picking it up. You're sitting up here seeing your parents go to work, rain, sleet, and snow. And it's a lot of snow here every single day,
Right.
no matter what. Sick, not being sick, going to work. So you're seeing that structure right there. So that's structure, period.
Right.
You're watching them go to work.
Right.
So you're like, okay, I got to do this because they're doing this.
Right.
You know? So, I mean, so that's automatically built. But in the same sense, it's still, it's in you.
Right.
It's
Right.
in you. Everything is built inside you.
Absolutely.
So if you don't want to do it, you ain't gonna do it. But
understand. I get that part, but like I mean, pretty much as far as like having, because then you said sports, you know what I mean, saves your life. So I know even though regardless of you being an athlete, being a stellar athlete all by yourself, like as far as having those coaches saying, okay, like you said, your stepfather, like don't quit, or you have different coaches, and I know you get involved with helping kids with skills and drills and things like that. Like, why are those things important to you? Why is it important for you to pour into, you know, younger people, and how important is it for younger people to be poured into? And as far as some of the people who are doing it.
okay, so sports for me was something that you can bring out the creative juices of you. And that was because that was the first part of my life that you can start bringing out creative, just anything creative. So for instance, when I played basketball when I was a child, really wasn't too good, but you know, dribbling that ball was almost like music. So it used to make me like sing, like you used to sing songs while you dribbling, you know, and then that part made it fun. And then, you know, learned that I could jump.
Right.
You know, now people want to see you like just like start jumping and doing things like that. But like sports brings out just creative side, but it also gives you, depends on the coaching, gives you a certain type of structure.
So who, what, when you say it depends on the coaching, what do you mean by like who were some of the coaches, and what type of men were they, or even women? What type of qualities or characteristics did they have you feel like that pushed you to the next level?
Just holding you accountable. Accountability is everything. I mean, just being late, being there, being respectful. Like I said, back then when I grew up, everything was in your face. Like literally, I played football. Coach would, you didn't run the play right or do, he would really put your shoulder pads and helmet on, you know, and would try to run you over. Kids would get hurt, but they'll come back.
Right.
But it was definitely in your face. You play basketball, the same thing. Like you have to illustrate things. And with me is I want you to be a better person every day. Forget a basketball player. I want you to progress how you are every day. Just be better than what you were yesterday. So what I'm going to do is help you do the best you can in what I can show you at this moment. But I'm also going to talk to you about life and to show you life situations. So I'm not only coaching you in the sport of basketball, I'm just coaching you on situations of how you should be able to handle that situation.
Right.
And I really wasn't taught that, but I learned that on my own, which is because I'm an understander.
Okay.
And that's
what I am. That's what's up. So it sounds to me like through some of your own personal struggles or successes, whatever we label it, like you kind of learn how to develop yourself and mold yourself into being a man. And like coming in here, I was hearing the conversation that you was having with a young man, and it was very enlightening to me. And I can appreciate the conversation that you were having with him. So now I'm gonna ask you, like, why is it important for you to be here? Like, why do you come here and offer your time and offer your services to some of these young men and some of these young ladies who are here in this program?
Because I just want to see better. I just want to see, and even though I never met these kids a day of my life before I even start coming here, I want to see better by everyone. I know that we live in a town where a lot of things don't look up for us, where it's cold most of the year, and especially when programs and situations like centers and stuff is getting closed day by day. When I was a kid, we was able to go to the JFK, King Center, Booker T. Washington Center, Boys and Girls Club. It was a multitude of different places to go, churches to go play basketball. It was like, as I got older, it was like more and more things. Well, they're taking a lot of things away. And the only thing I see now for young teenage adults, I want to say to come to, is the team center down here at the downtown YMCA. So if that option is really getting closed, why would I not come here and give back? The game's been good to me. It's been good enough, and I just want to come back and just help as much as I can with, just any kid that just want to listen.
Okay.
And that's basically it. Just be better every day.
Right.
Just be better every day. I didn't ask you to be your best. I'm not asking you to go learn a new word in the dictionary.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just asking you to be a better person than you was yesterday.
Okay. So now I'm gonna ask you this question here, because you kind of strike me as the type of person to where, like, you're very modest, but I'm gonna ask you this right now. I guess it's gonna be kind of like an opportunity for you to brag a little bit. Like, why is it important for these kids to know you? Like, what do you bring to the table that you're gonna be able to provide for these youngsters, or where they're gonna look at you like, you know what? I like Donny. He a good dude. Like, what is it about? What is it about you that's you gonna bring it in?
Because whatever I tell them, I've already been through it. And if I haven't been through it, somebody else has been through it that was very close to me. If you want to listen to me, listen to what I'm going to tell you is the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to the forefathers that was way before me, and the fathers that y'all going to be in the future. That a mistake can cost you your life, or a mistake can have you sit up here and waste years of your life just by being unprincipled and just off of word respect. So if you don't want to listen to me, that's on you. But if you do, I can help you as best as I can.
Right. I agree with all of that too, because I definitely understand the importance of, and when I say even just like my presence, because like you were saying, like I grew up going to the Trinity Center, then I went to the JFK for a little bit, then I went to the Erie One for a little bit, and like me having this type of exposure and having these type of interactions, it was just always important and beneficial to me. And I feel like there was a point in time in my life where I'm growing up as a young man and I'm developing into a man, and I didn't know if I wanted to do the right thing or if I know if I want to do the wrong thing. Because it's very easy, you got your friends out there in the streets. You have some friends who are getting large amounts of money, and like I didn't have a large amounts of money in my house. So it was days where I guess I looked like a bum, as compared to them. So, and then I was also involved in sports. So it was difficult for me to kind of make the decision to where it's like, am I about to run the street with the fellas, or am I going to hit the books, and am I going to work hard through sports and allow my dream to be what everybody's telling me is hyped up to be? So as far as you, when it comes to like figuring out which side of the street you're going to stand on or which side of the street you're going to run on, was that something that was difficult for you to do? Like, what was that like for you?
Well, I was a born leader. So, and me in my mind, I was born to, if I put something in my head, I was going to not do it or not do it or not do it. And like what you said, it's like that. You said it's a fine line. I said it's a decimal point.
Okay.
I said it's small as a decimal point. Because you can see things and you can just go off what you see, or you can believe that it could be better by hard work and determination. But in my perspective on that, I just associated myself that I didn't want to be what others are being. So I have to be who I'm going to be regardless. Like and that's it. I'm the oldest grandkid, guy wise.
Mm-hmm.
I have a cousin that's older, and that's pretty much on both sides. Like I said, I came from a young family, so I have people that they looked up to me.
Okay.
And I know I had to shape and mold myself for them. So it wasn't no, I mean, back when I was there, they had West Side and East Side, and like the Harley and the Terrace and all that fighting and stuff like that. And tell my little cousins, no, we are family.
Right.
We're not none of that.
Right.
Like we are who we are, and I will stand up, but y'all got to stand up for yourself first.
Right.
Because again, where we was at, it was stand up, and like everything was in your face, no matter what. And like I said, I go back, and that crack era was very, very brutal.
Yes,
very brutal. If it didn't hit your household, it hit the household right next to you. I still never seen nothing like that. Like, I mean, it's we got the heroin epidemic now, like where people just falling out, and which is sad, and rest in peace to a lot of people. But that era blew up and destroyed houses, and it's still messing us up to this day.
Mm-hmm.
That crack era was really bad, and I just knew I didn't, and like I said, to each his own. I didn't want to. In my mind, I felt like I didn't want to destroy my own people, so I'm not mad if somebody else is doing that.
Right.
But I'm a leader to myself, and
Okay.
and I wouldn't fall on that. How I would rather get up and punch a clock for 8 hours, or go to school and write the same thing down every day.
Right. So then when you talk about like this leadership thing, and like being a leader and having the qualities of being a leader, and since we are like got some youngsters in front of us, like why would you emphasize the importance of being a leader, and how would you tell somebody how to step into the role of actually being a leader when it's some people are having moments where it's kind of pivotal, like I was saying, I don't know if I should go this way or that way. So talking to somebody like you who were like naturally born with this stuff, like what would you say to me to kind of be like, listen, bro, like it's okay to be a leader?
I would say everybody has a friend that did something wrong. Everybody. And everybody has a friend that did something right. You can take from both sides. You can learn from a wrong decision that you did not do or you did do, just as well as you can learn from a right decision what somebody else is doing. I was just explaining this to a young man earlier, like, our precision, and me, and I don't want to say this as a black male because just the quota, wherever what's going on in these days, Earth, but our margin of error is so low. It's very low, and that's just for all men. So if we make a mistake, we're trying to. It's just like credit. Like once you ruin your credit, you're trying to balance it and get it back up. Well, if you make a mistake, you're trying to fight your way back up. So much a lot of people quit and give up.
Right.
I came from a household where we just didn't quitters, and what I'm just trying to instill in them from the inch of time that they're giving me is just don't be a quitter, man. Life can be hard, but just keep pushing ahead, keep pushing and pushing, and you will see the results.
Okay.
You will see them.
So then, and I tell people all the time, like the way I run this thing and my questions be all over the place, like it all kind of ties into each other. But like, again, like when I first introduced you, like you was heavy, growing up, you heavy on the basketball court, you doing your thing. So kind of like talk to us a little bit about that as far as like you and your basketball career and your basketball accolades and what did basketball did for you?
Basketball just, like I said, basketball, it's like it created a creative juice in my head. And it still does to this day. Like I love just watching basketball, just the pure art form of basketball. But basketball, it's just what it is. It's a sport.
For you though, like far as what high school did you hoop at?
I hyped Central High School.
Okay, what type
Central Falcon.
What was we doing? What you was doing over there, man? That's what I want to know. Like
I was doing a little bit. I wasn't doing too much. I got better after high school.
Okay.
But it started 2.5 years.
Okay.
Played in college.
What college?
Mercyhurst.
Okay.
Just played in a lot of things after college. Just played in like baby stuff. But then, just I did my thing in basketball. I did it. I did it. I was like, I'm known for playing basketball.
Right.
I thought I could have been a better football player, but
did you play football in high school too?
Yeah, I played football early in high school. I stopped. Yeah, but basketball was my thing.
Okay.
But just sports saved me, and sports save and help a lot of people. But like I said, it depends on after that because we only can have it a certain amount of time.
Right. So let me ask you, was basketball the catalyst to college or was college the catalyst to basketball?
Actually, basketball saved my life. I was working at McDonald's, walking down the street.
Okay.
And didn't even go to basketball right after high school. The girls' basketball coach on Central High School seen me and cussed me out, gave me this phone number. I went and worked out for this man.
Okay.
I didn't think I did good at the workout. He brought me back in, but I'm such a competitive person. He brought me back in, and I did good on the second workout, and that's how I went to school. Okay. That's how everything triggered off.
Okay.
So I was working a regular job. Then I went to McDonald's, working and I'm like, nobody don't think that's just going to be your life job. But, I was there about 8 months. And just been happening walking down the street and seeing my basketball coach, and the girls basketball coach, and he asked me what was I doing with a McDonald's outfit on.
Right.
And go talk to this man. And I didn't really take nothing into it, but I that must have been the man upstairs told me to call, and I called, and everything else was history. So
then, so then you did you play like all the way through college? Did you graduate from college on the basketball team and all of that?
No, I stopped. I stopped about my third year.
Okay.
But it took off for me. I finished.
Mm-hmm. When you say you finished what? College or finished basketball?
I finished college and basketball. I was done early.
Okay.
But I was happy I did what I needed to do, and it just showed me a different life.
Okay.
It showed me a world that I didn't, because the world was kind of closed in before then, and it woke me up.
Right.
And I have to be. That's why I want to talk to the kids to this day.
Right.
Because you don't know where your path can take you. You don't know where you don't know where life, it might not work right now, but you could see somebody like me or somebody like you,
right,
or somebody else that can believe in you.
Right.
And then all of a sudden you believe in yourself and life could just go.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. So I think it's all about the perseverance and it's all about the hard work. You know what I mean? And then we do certain things in life that gets us to certain places or to certain levels. So, like you said, the basketball got you into college. And then after you go to basketball, I mean, you do basketball for 3 years. So now you at college and you graduate. So after college graduation, like, what's the next step for you? Like, what was your journey after the
I started while I was in school and stuff. I started doing like telemarketing.
Okay.
Got really good at that.
Now, when you say telemarketing, what do you mean? Like, what type of work were you doing? What did that consist of?
Customer service.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was doing customer service for a while. I didn't get in the mental health field until I was like 25.
Okay.
And then I kind of been in it ever since. Went back to customer service in the middle of that. Thought that's what I was going to do. But then I realized, in the mental health, helping others. And then got into coaching. Mm-hmm. And then that's when everything changed. And that's when you just see for what you see for yourself. And
right.
And I was like, oh, it's really bad out here.
Right.
And because we're just subject to what we're subject in this town. And we only see what's in front of us. We don't see a whole world out there. We don't see, you see a little bit in college and stuff like that, but you don't, it's just a whole dribble. What Gully said, it's a whole different dribble.
Right, with Gully, right, exactly.
It's just a whole different dribble in other places, and you don't see it until you actually experience it for yourself. And that goes for just life, period. Like you have to see what life is for itself. And a lot of kids don't know. One kid just told me he hasn't been past Fairview. Another kid told me he hasn't been past DC.
Yeah.
You haven't seen palm trees. You haven't seen just the West Coast. You just haven't seen. That don't mean you have to live there.
Right.
But
to see it, to be exposed to it.
Just to
be exposed. It's life changing.
Yeah.
So then I heard you say, like, okay, so at the age of 25, you said at the age of 25, you get into the mental health field, right?
Yeah.
So what does that consist of as far as you being involved in the mental health field? Like, what is your job title? Where has your job titles been, and what kind of work have you been doing?
I work in it started with like direct support, and then it went to like team leaders, and then it went to like managements after that. So it starts where I was in line, in face, and it started with kids. I worked with kids, like of their age, that got locked up or basically it's in and out for all types of different situations. And then I went to adults, and I basically stayed in adults from there. I stayed in, but I've always been connected with kids. I have a group that I coach. They're all graduating now, besides one. And then it was like younger after that. I started back when it was like in the 4th and 5th grade. I'll coach them. And, just like I said in my life, nobody gave them a chance. When I first got them, they were supposed to be a bunch of misfits. Mm-hmm. We weren't supposed to be good. We came out rocking, won our first 4 or 5 tournaments when I was coaching them, and then we took off. Now, I want to say every single one of them kids that I coach are going to some school at some point. Right. Some of them are going to high-level Division I, some of them going to low, but everybody's going to school. And you know what? I told them all that. When they was in 6th grade, I said, y'all have the potential. Every single one of y'all are going to go to school. Don't have to be for the sport that y'all playing. Right. But y'all going to go to school and play a sport because I just see it in y'all. As long as y'all keep this up, what y'all doing. And now look, it's 2023. Right. And they're going.
And what's interesting, like, is to hear you say that, is, we having this conversation and we talking about this, and you've been working in this in the field for that long. Like, I know when I was a young man, like, they really didn't put that much emphasis on mental health and us addressing our mental health or us acknowledging our mental health. So like, as far as you doing this job today, like how important is it for us to reach out to some of the young folks, and how important is it for some of the young folks to be able to understand mental health, the importance of mental health, and talking about your problems and actually asking for help and getting help?
We all, in every shape or form, every single person in this world has something that they're battling. Every single person. And if you can talk to anybody, I tell you to talk to somebody. And some might want to get professional help if they can. But in our community, in the color community, we feel like we're too weak or too stubborn, or we could just keep pushing it off every single day. Just push it off. Like we push it off. Oh, we get help tomorrow. We call somebody tomorrow. Call somebody. Till it's too late. To everything blows over. We make that absolutely worst decision that we possibly can make. Like this field is it's a strong field. They say everything is mental now, but I just say talk to somebody about your problems. Everybody, if you have a friend that you can talk to, or if you have if you need to seek guidance from, a professional, go talk to. But just don't let that just sit inside of you and just boil in.
Right. So how do you deal with like your mental health? How do you cope with some of the things that you have going on, or some of the feelings that you maybe have, if you don't mind me asking?
I call my friends, call my parents.
Okay.
Write some stuff down.
Right.
Write things down.
Right.
Write stuff down every day to see how, like, what I do better. Like I said, I want to progress every day. I want to be better every day. And no matter how tired I am, because I do work long hours, I write one thing down. Hey, stuff is all over my house.
Right.
Just write things down. But if it gets to a point where I need to call somebody, I will call somebody.
Right.
If that needs to be the vent, or if that needs to just be say, hey, what's going on? How you doing? And it could be friends that I didn't talk to in 6 months, or it could be somebody that I talk to once every other day. Like I don't have too many enemies in this world, so I don't think I have none. In fact, I'm too old to be having energy to not like somebody. So.
Right. So like, what's interesting, and like everybody knows I'm a huge advocate for mental health. So like, what's interesting to me about the mental health subject is like I remember being a young man and having some type of problem. Like my dad was in my life and out my life, in my life. My grandfather played a major role, and then some things that I seen growing up as a kid, like I said, struggling with trying to make decisions of who I wanted to be. Like I never really understood the importance. I had some anger problems, and then as I developed into a man, it kind of started to come out a little bit more. I got into some situations at work, so I sought out help. You know what I mean? And like to this day, for the last, I want to say 2.5, maybe 2.5, maybe 3 years, like I talk to a therapist on a weekly basis, and like it's not all about like me feeling like I'm crazy or thinking that I'm crazy and stuff like that. It's about me learning. I get unbiased opinions. I get to have a conversation, and we throw different ideas. And I will tell you, it's been life changing for me. Like this lady has given me advice on relationships with my children, relationships with my mother, relationships with people at work, relationships with myself. And I think a lot of people don't even understand, like, even when we talk about mental health and we talk about coping skills, like, for instance, as I'm asking, anytime I mention basketball, like, you light up. Like, when you start talking about basketball, you light up. And a lot of people don't know that, like, there are different things that you can do to literally adjust your mental health and not even realize this is what you're doing. Like, some people use music to escape. You know what I mean? So many different arts to where people get in the studio, they rap their pain or they sing their lifestyles. Then you have people who will pick up a basketball and just dribble and shoot for hours. Like, I like to fish. I do puzzles. I play board games and stuff like that. And I think that it's important for us to kind of talk about the subject and shed light on it, because a lot of people don't realize that, like, when you're having a rough day or a sad day, like, that could be like you having like an issue with your mental health, and to be able to vent about it, you know what I mean? To be able to talk to somebody, like you said, you got family, you got loved ones, you know what I mean? And then even to seek the professional help, and then to do some of those activities like playing basketball, like, it got to the point to where my therapist told me, like, yo, you move too much. You want to make money too fast. Like, sit down, do a puzzle. You know what I mean? Different stuff like that. Because I don't have conversations with my therapist like, oh, I feel like killing myself or I'm crazy. But it's just like, yo, like, I got this going on. I got to manage this time and budget this money. Like, what is your thoughts? And if she doesn't have any interest as far as the money that I'm spending or interest in my time. So it's like you get those good ideas and those good feedback. But a lot of people feel like it's something that we don't talk about or we shouldn't touch. And I feel like if I did it as a young man and felt comfortable enough to open up to people about things that were bothering me or affecting me in my life, I feel like I would be a lot better off than I am today. And that's why I push for it. That's why I'm an advocate for it. That's why my ear is always available. I try to do different things, just to be able to offer those services and offer myself and to understand the importance of being able to check yourself. But then also what I'm realizing as I'm growing and developing into a man, how important it is for me to have myself surrounded by solid people who are going to push me in the right direction and who aren't going to sell me any BS. So like when we talk about that, or when I talk about that, like you said, your friends and your cousins and stuff like that, like you have a nucleus, it sounds like to me, of people who you've grown with. Like how important was it for you to have people in your circle who weren't trying to lead you astray or trying to send you into the wrong crowd?
Very, very, very important, and even the people that was in the wrong crowd, they was very important. They'll tell you, don't be around over here. Don't do this. Stay away, and it just won't be that day. But then the people that's doing very well, hey, come with me. Let's go do this. Let's go do this. I want you to I'm going to show you how to do this.
Right.
Like I said, the long conversations between Corey Coleman and Mike Darnell are very strong. Like very strong, independent people in my life that do. I don't know a harder worker than Mike, and I don't know a more business savvy person than Corey.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I have to give them their flowers. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then I go to my cousin Quell. We can talk 5 days in a row. We can talk once every 4 months.
Right.
But them conversations be very, very, very on point. And I go to my little baby sis, Sharika.
Right.
Love her to death. She our conversations. Love my little sis, and then my mom, and pops. Talk to them together. If I'm on the phone with one, the other one's right there. We having that conversation. And then the friends. Like I said, if it wasn't for them, I don't know where I'd be at. For my family and my people. It's like I said, it's just, man, and like I don't post a lot on the social media and stuff like that. I mean, I guess I'm old school, but I do read a lot on there, and I read it, and then I see what y'all do. Like this gets me by. Right. Like listening to y'all talk, listening and hearing this. That's why I said, so I had to give you my flowers, man, because I seen where you was at 7-8 years ago. Right. And I seen where you at now. Like you said, you would have made better decisions. No, you are where you're supposed to be because that's where you is, because that's what you're doing. You're supposed to make the mistakes to know what you are.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that.
Be where you at, man. Like, man, I remember. You know what I mean? Look at you now. Like, look where you at. Just look at your body. We just talked about this. We just seen you. We just seen you. Yeah, that's what I said. So just, man, it's just beautiful. And I'm just hoping these kids see this before a bad mistake or just a brash decision. I'm just hoping. Because we all made them.
Right, absolutely.
We all made them. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you wouldn't be who you are if you didn't make a mistake.
Right.
You just try to minimize and shake what you did. That's all.
And then, like, what's interesting too is to hear you say that as far as like making the mistakes. Like, I think like a lot of people, and I'm glad that we are sitting here in front of the group that we are sitting here in front of, because a lot of people condemn themselves. Like, a lot of people will make a mistake and then feel like we're doomed for it. And like, you're absolutely correct. Like, I've made a lot of mistakes in my life. I still make mistakes on a regular basis, but like, as far as being able to acknowledge the mistake that I made and not beat myself up about it and to still go forward has been very, very important for me, because it is very easy. It was very easy for me to make a mistake and to kind of follow the crowd, but to kind of like pull myself out was important for me. And if it wasn't for people, like even like what you giving flowers, like you, like people like you, people like Big Mike, even people like probably all the people that you're naming, I have some type of personal relationship with. Absolutely. And it's just like being around y'all and hearing y'all talk about sports. You know what I mean? Or hearing, like, talking to Corey, me and Corey sat here and we had a conversation. We talked about money, we talking about growth and stuff like that. So like having those conversations literally played a major role in my development as a man. So, like when it comes to flowers, we got to throw them around all the time. But it seems like a lot of people don't do that. So, and then we got some young men in front of us, and I feel like they need to know how important it is. Like, why do you think it is important? And I asked you this a little bit earlier, but as far as men acknowledging other men and like giving those flowers and giving those cards, why is it important for us to do it, and why is it important for other people to see it happen?
Well, I want to go back one thing you said earlier. You said beat yourself up. I'm fine with beating myself up off a mistake I made, because I know if I do it enough, then I won't make that mistake again. I'm not a two-timer, so I won't double back down on this mistake. So if I know what I did was foolish,
Right.
or just, unresponsible, or just, just wasn't right, then I know I won't make that mistake again.
Right.
So I'm I need to beat myself up on something like
Okay.
that. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, everybody got their own perspective, but yeah, okay.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna hang on it too long.
Right.
You know what I mean? I am gonna let it go, because that's just life. Like you have to keep going, But I do want to acknowledge what I did. I mean, we do. We wake up. I mean, can make good decisions, bad decisions, anything like that. You just, we want to be here for others.
Right.
And I know me in this world, and I'm here. I know I'm here to help out others, and it just don't got to be the young kids.
Right.
It could be adults.
Exactly.
It could be this conversation that needs to be had before you make a mistake. It could be anybody. It could be,
Right.
That's why I'm here.
Okay.
I feel like that's what, God put me here for.
Absolutely. But then, like I said, back to the compliments and the flowers thing, like, why do you think it's important for men to share and exchange compliments? And why do you think it's important for younger people to see men having positive conversations and sharing compliments with one another?
Because just like they see the bad, they need to see the good. They need to see the good within grown men that can have a complicated or a great conversation and dap each other up and be great. Because everything is so face value on the internet, what they see, and 98% of it is unbelievable.
Right.
So they need to see great interactions. We don't see, we don't have them TV shows, Cosby shows and
Family Matters
and everything like that. I mean, I don't see too much of that no more. I mean, and then a lot of parents don't even really have Netflix,
right,
to even show the other shows, the good shows. You
right.
go watch something bad. So them seeing this is great.
Okay.
Them seeing two men acknowledging, how they came up is fantastic.
Right. So then even when we flipping it to the man side, you know what I mean? Because I know like it needs to happen, but it is difficult for some men to acknowledge another man. Like you'll see a man, if you don't know him, like it seems like we got to figure out, we got to keep his mean face on and we don't say what's up and stuff like that. Like, why do you think that's an issue with us as far as men? I like to call it the macho complex. Like a lot of us as men have that macho complex. Like, why do you think we have that? How important is it for us to break that? And how do we do that? How do we break that macho complex as far as men?
I mean, I think that's not complicated at all. If you're not happy within yourself, then you're gonna just, what they say, sad people make bad people.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So if you're really sad within you, you want to make somebody else bad. So you want to walk around with that mean face. But even if you give me a mean face, I just look at you for 5 seconds and I just treat it as ignorance.
Right.
And if you have some type of ignorance with
right.
you, or you just want to be ignorant, then I'm not even going.
But what I'm saying to you is like, and I get that's what I'm saying, but like, how do we break that? Because sometimes I feel like it's just, and this is just through my experience, sometimes it's just us being men. So instead of me, like when I walk past you and say like, what's going on, bro? How you doing? Like, I just give you the look or act like I won't even know you or acknowledge you or just give you this head nod. Like, why do you think us as men don't interact? Like, I believe we should. Like, I feel like men should be able to have more conversations where, like we're doing right now, be able to sit down and have a conversation about for an hour about different positive things, about progress, about life experiences, about choices, decisions, and be able to walk away from the table and, be okay with each other. But even like it's certain things to where even if we don't agree on certain things, it's like, oh, you trying to play me and all of that. Like, how do we get rid of that?
Because society made it like that.
Right. How do we fight that?
Society, I mean, me and you can sit up here and have this conversation until our face turns blue.
Right.
But it really comes upon them. Hold on really quick. We have to go out there and regulate.
Y'all too loud.
But me, I respect everybody.
Right.
I mean, if you walk around with a mean face, I just feel like you're just gonna walk around with a mean face. That's just you. That's just how some people, because you can't change the world.
What? I disagree.
You can't.
I disagree.
Okay.
I totally disagree, and that's why I'm asking you the question I'm asking, and I'm glad that I'm having this conversation with you because, like, for instance, like you're saying, if somebody's walking past and they just mad, I may not know that, and I might look at you like you said, you're just a miserable person, but no, like you might need me to say, "What's up, bro? How are you doing?" But you don't have the courage to say that. you don't even have the courage to break. You don't have the courage to cry. You don't have the courage to ask for help. And the only thing that you know how to do is be mean and to look angry. And then you have somebody like me that's thinking, there's a reason why this man has this look on his face. So instead of me walking past you, how you doing, bro? How's your day going? Like, and let me talk to you, because I know people, and we all know people who walk around with these mean faces. And they're like, for instance, if it's me, oh, that's just Arnie being Arnie. He all right. But in my head, I got some stuff going on. And the reason why I always look mean, and nobody's coming to me for help. I mean, to ask me how can they help me, and then me being so stubborn and being so prideful as a man, I'm not saying, bro, I need help. Can you help me? So you looking at me like, dude, always angry. Like, that's just him. He's a miserable person. And like, my facial expression is literally a cry for help. And I'm trying to get people to the point to where, how do we break that wall down to where you can acknowledge my pain and my misery through my face and bring me some of your happiness and some of your joy, instead of feeling like, well, you know what? I'm just going to go on about my day.
And I love that. And I love that about you. And that's great. But a lot of people ain't you.
Understood.
a lot of people can't do that. Me, I would say what's up to everybody.
Right.
And I say what's up to everybody. Mean face or not, I do say what's up.
Okay.
But if you give me that type of vibe, I can't, if I can't flow with your vibe,
I feel you.
I have to keep going, because this world is different.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not about to battle a battle that I can't battle unless you want me to be helping with that battle.
Right.
But if you're screaming help to me, then I can help. But even if you're giving me a clue to help you, then I can. But
right.
I mean,
you ain't picking it.
Yeah, I can't pick everybody.
Understood.
I can't pick somebody off the street.
Right.
Because that might be my last battle.
Absolutely. Okay.
That might be my last battle. So I'm not here for my kids no more.
Interesting.
But I will say, hey, how you doing?
Right.
Hey, what's up?
Right.
And my what's up might not be your what's up.
Right.
My what's up is just saying what's up, But you can feel my energy. It ain't bad.
So let me ask you this: Do you have a difficult time asking for help, or are you one of those people to where, like, if you need something, like, you can be like, I need help?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I could talk to somebody that probably don't even know me, or I can talk.
How do you do that? Where does that come from?
I'm just coming out asking.
Okay.
I mean, if you know me personally, I would just come out and just talk to you. Like, if I feel something is going on with me, I'm gonna have a conversation about it.
And how important has that been for you? And the reason I'm saying this because, like I said, it's men watching, and some people agree with me, some people agree with you, some people disagree with both of us. But, like, I think it's very important for, like, I have no problem. I will ask somebody for help until they tell me no. But it has been important for me to change my life and to save my life. So, like, I'm all for telling people to ask for help. Like, how important has it been for you to ask for help? And how important do you think it is for other men to be able to just be like, help me?
Well, going back on what I said earlier, just talk to somebody. That one person can probably save your life at that moment if it's going that really bad to you. So just talk to somebody, because that somebody can help you with somebody else.
Right.
So I would just say, just don't let it sit within you. Like, but if you do need 5 minutes of a long time until you talk to somebody, that's fine too.
Exactly.
That's fine too. Because some people just need to be alone just for a little bit or a day. You know what I mean? And then they can go reach out and talk to somebody. But I say, don't let it sit in there with you. Right. Because we do, in most cases, and definitely as you get older, your blood pressure starts getting high. Hey, stress can take you off this earth. Right. If you let it. Right. So like I said, if it's a close friend, and then that close friend can refer you to somebody else or talk to somebody else, just talk to somebody,
So they're like, okay, so now we talking, since I got y'all two together, I need some help. Let me go to Facebook and see. I'm gonna go to Facebook and see who that is. That's DeJuan Terrell. Oh, that's deep. What's going on, cuz? I always got you, baby. I always gonna help you. Hit me up.
I just want to say what's up to everybody. I see Mike Vinny and I see Giovanni on there.
Okay, yeah, we got the comments. I've been popping them up there. But yeah, that's cool. You know what I mean? And it's interesting to hear different people talk about that and have different perspectives, because I know a lot of people who have a difficult time asking for help. And then when I'm talking about help, I'm not even talking like the mental health thing, but even if it's something as simple as like, I got to move this couch, bro, and I need some help. Like, I'm the type of person where I'll try to put a couch on my back and the truck on my back too and move it myself. But I'm learning and understanding the importance of reaching out to different people, getting that help, getting that feedback. You know what I mean? Just talking to different people. Like I said.
Well, a lot of people are scared of rejection too.
Right.
A lot of people.
There's the answer.
Rejection hurts more than asking for help. Some people just can't handle somebody saying no to them. you know, and they don't know how to get to the next person, or they just give up or flaccid. I see that a lot. Just one no can kill a day, or probably hurt that person because they expected that person, because they felt like they did so much for that person, or everything in their eyes to that person. But I always said, look at, nobody don't owe you. If they don't feel like they don't owe you, they don't need to owe you.
Right.
You know.
Right.
But it don't hurt, you know, to just talk to somebody. And like I said, I can't answer everybody's question because, like I said, I'm not a clinical psychologist. But what I can do is just, like I said, I'm good with emotions.
Okay.
And I'm good with characters.
Okay.
And I'm very understanding.
Okay.
I've always been understanding since I remember from the womb.
Absolutely.
You know?
So then, like I said, I'll be all over the place and I'll be talking about different things. So now I want to kind of go back to this coaching journey of yours. Like, you've been coaching basketball for how long?
I've been coaching basketball for like 9 years, I think.
9 years. What level? What gender? Tell us about your coaching journey.
I coach travel AAU now. I'm actually going to help out the kids in the teen center. I coached Blessed Sacrament. I won a state championship over there a couple years ago, 2018, 19. We should have won it back to back. Help out coaching all over the place. I mean, I literally, but now it's majority of like AAU. I was coaching the Wildcats, helping them out, traveling, doing all that, taking a lot of time from me.
Yeah.
And just realizing that. And that's why it's kind of like taking a walk and step back, because coaching takes a lot of time from your family and, just your personal life. And I just had to, to step back and analyze, like, do I still kind of want to do this?
Right.
But I love it. Like, I love that. I love the whole aspect of just coaching and just helping others. Have college coaches calling me every day.
What? Hold on, wait. You got college coaches calling you for what?
Yeah, Appalachian State, Georgetown, about my kids that I coach.
Okay.
I mean, I got Adidas stuff. That's why I got the Adidas stuff on now.
Okay, so you got people just sending you merch and everything? Like,
oh, yeah. I mean, we used to, but not, I think I'm a little bit off that plan with them.
Okay.
But the coach is still calling, just want to give updates on kids. And I just, I lean them to other kids and see where they can see if they like this kid or not. Ask them, do they want tapes or stuff like that. So, yeah, I still do a little bit of helping.
Okay.
He's still a little bit.
So then, and you said like it takes away from your family and stuff like that. So then, like, do you have children?
Yeah.
How many children you have?
Yeah, man, 6.
6? Okay. Yeah. All right. I got 8. So don't you say that kind of 6. I got 8. I say it loud. I say it proud. Like,
well, majority of mine are grown.
Okay. You got grown kids?
Yeah, majority of mine are grown. 22.
Okay.
21.
Okay.
20.
Okay.
18. And then I got 16 and 11.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So when it come to coaching, like, did you get involved to be coaching your own children, or was it like something like passionate?
Nah, it's just mine. What's just so crazy about that, I never coached none of my kids.
Wow.
Really, none of them really. Like my youngest son, well, not my youngest son, but my second youngest son, he picked up on basketball, but it was like already a little bit after the fact. But, I got my youngest one. I'm going to probably help him out, see if he want to do this. But
okay.
Me, it goes back on the line, and I forget about this friend, T. Mitch.
Okay.
T. Mitch put me on to this. They actually asked him, and that was that stepping stone. Remember it clear as day, sitting at home, not doing nothing, and got a call from him like, hey, you want to do this? Because I can't do it.
Right.
And like, I knew I was like kind of a coach because I like help out on the floor and, assist where it go and stuff like that. But then now I'm competitive.
Right. Oh, yeah. So you on the solid street. Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to get these kids all the way right.
Oh, okay.
And then when I'm going to get these kids even better than what they is. And now these kids are way better than what, like, my projection level for them was high, but they even took it to a whole new level, and I'm hoping one of them, like all of them, do the best that they can in the sport. But like I said, I preach for degrees. I preach for free education, but if they get past that, God's gracious, like I said, they already know. I talk to most of them.
So how do you get them to buy in?
Buy in? Oh, man. That was, I had a eccentric group of kids.
Okay.
With to start off.
Okay.
It was all over the place. So the buy-in part, and it was only three days a week of practice.
Okay.
So the buy-in part, it took a little bit. And it was like what you had to destroy them to build them back up because of the selection I had. You know, so it took a lot of yelling, took a lot of persuasive, it took a lot of running, you know, and that start. But once they believed the message,
right,
we was off and running,
right,
you know, and that's all I wanted them to do because, you know, a lot of them didn't believe in themselves.
Okay.
You know, and that's what you have to do in the sport. You have to, you know, because confidence is a big thing in sports. Confidence is everything.
Right.
You see it every day on TV. You know, see with professional athletes, if you don't have the confidence, you can't play this game.
Right.
You know.
So then we talk about like a lot of stuff that you do, a lot of things that you've done, a lot of things that you've talked about and shared about. It seems like, again, we got the support. You got the support. Like you're giving people different love. You're giving different people love, dropping flowers, you know what I mean? You're throwing out names. And then we all know when you get into sports, you have coaches, you know what I mean? You got trainers, you got fans, you got the student section and all of that. So like, how important is it and how important is it to have support in sports, and how important was it for you to have the support that you've had throughout sports to your development as a man?
Well, can't even really say, and I'm gonna go back off what you said earlier. If you'd have known what you know now, you'd have been way better off. And if I would have had the great coaches that other people had, I would have been way better off. So I just I wanted to validate myself to be the best coach I can for the kids I have. Okay. And that's doing everything on and off the court what I can. If that's have to, you know, get you home every day because you didn't have a ride here and back, and, you know, or, you know, be on you because you don't know why you're mad right now. And I kind of don't, but what we can do is we can channel this to make you be a better kid, be a better person,
right?
You know, like, you know, figure you out, you know, oh, it's going to be one of these days. Well, let's not make it be one of these days. Let's, you know, let's start this back over. You know what I mean? And see where we can go from here.
Right.
You know, so me coaching grew me up.
Right.
As an adult as well as me coaching them up to be better kids.
Right.
So I mean, it helped out on both ways. And I tell you to this day, like I said, just be better every day. And that's all I was trying to do. And that's all I am to them. And then say anybody I can reach out and have a conversation with. And they know that if you know me personally, I had a conversation with them.
So let me ask you this. Who was your most memorable coach and why?
Who was my most memorable coach? Wasn't even my coach.
Huh? Like coach through basketball.
I had a man that used to come pick me up every day my sophomore year. And I never even got a chance to be coached by him because I couldn't get the papers to sign to go to that school at that time.
Okay.
But it was Pete Flynn used to come pick me up.
Okay.
And to work me out and do things with me and help me out.
Right.
But
so let me ask you this. How is it that you remember him and why? Like, how do you remember him specifically?
Because he believed in me when, you know, I believed in myself a little bit. At that time, I was still playing football. And he believed in me to play this. He used to always tell me if I had 5 of you, I could win right now and for the rest of my life. And he was the first person that just believed in me.
Right.
But he wasn't my coach. He was never able to coach me because I would never get to that school. But that's all I needed. And that was all I needed. I just needed him to come pick me up on 26th and State while he was going over there to work me out with his team that I wasn't even a part of yet.
And what's interesting, I appreciate that answer. And the reason why I asked you that question is because, like, it's a lot of us who live in the city of Erie. It's a lot of people who want to be involved. A lot of people who want to get involved and, you know, have different ideas of how we can, but we don't really do it. And we don't realize how important we are. Like, for you to be able to identify, and it's crazy that you answered it that way, for you to identify and acknowledge a man who played a role in your life and wasn't even coaching you, but he believed in you. And then hear you sit here and say, like, sports saved my life. Right there is just that right there is enough fuel for me to feel like, you know what, I got to figure out a way that I can impact somebody else because it happened for me. You know what I mean? And if they hear you say it happened for you, and then every other guest that I've had on here that I've had a conversation with, they all talked about at least one person, if not a team of people who inspired them, who played roles in their lives, who wasn't living in their household, who wasn't related to them, who were coaching them and stuff like that. So like I feel like it is very important for us as men to get more involved in other people's lives, because we know like everybody doesn't have a present father. We all don't have aunts and uncles who care. And a lot of us, we're involved in sports. We love going to these games. We love going to these events. So even just like that little bit of time or that little bit of care, like I know for me, it mattered. It made a world of difference. Like I could name a bunch of coaches, but I will say out of every coach that I've ever had, outside of my uncles and Snake, and stuff like that, was like Coach DePaulo. Like Coach DePaulo, man, when I tell you that dude believed in me, like that dude pushed me, like that dude made me go to college. Like he told me, like, you're too smart, you're going to go to college. I don't care what we got to do, we'll figure it out.
Oh, you was getting college.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, like to have people like that push me and be behind me is just like it's powerful and it's impactful. And I want everybody to understand how important we are, and I want everybody to know the roles that we can play in some of these people's lives, because it's definitely important and it's necessary. And again, like I said, to hear you talk about some of these things is like.
Yeah. Like I said, it goes back to my mom and stepdad, man. My mom was resilient, man. And my stepdad was brilliant. And, just having them two on there, like I said, ball and chains, just to be right next to each other. And, I go back to my cousins, seeing y'all when y'all was younger, seeing y'all riding the bikes. I remember that. I was in school then. And quote on riding the bikes, doing that. And then we're a little older then. Now you was over there by Mike in them house. You remember that?
Yeah.
Like, I remember these things. Like it's just to see where we are now, and just seeing how we can help, how we can do this.
Absolutely.
But I felt like I seen this before.
What do you mean?
I in my mind, I knew we was gonna be doing stuff like this. A lot of us, like I seen them when we was kids. I seen like the atmosphere, that we was around. Like we was gonna,
right.
Eventually, everybody was gonna figure out.
Exactly. And that's crazy. I was saying that the other day too. I was just saying like how a lot of us who came from some of these community center umbrellas and some of these like athletic backgrounds and culture of being friends, are kind of like we're at the point now to where like this is our community. You know what I mean? And the kids that are coming up are the kids that we need to take care of, like other people took care of us. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So it's definitely interesting to hear you say that, because like I said, I was having a call. I think it might have been with Andrea, and she was just talking about like these kids today are our children.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like if they're not our children, there are people we went to school with children. You know what I mean? People, our peers' children. So at this point, it was somebody above us who cared enough for us to do some of these jobs where they got paid next to nothing or paid nothing to be involved and being active in our lives. So now it's like, and I'm seeing it, like I said, as I'm interviewing different people and having different interactions, it's kind of like it is a nucleus of us who were in sports and who were in the community centers and like who are now trying to give these things back. And I feel like and that's why I'm doing. It's important for us to highlight one another, and it's important for us to acknowledge and identify one another. So I don't know anything about basketball. I came here last week, I don't know nothing about basketball. So I'm glad you're here, because now I can be like, go listen to Donny, go talk to Donny. He's gonna tell you, he's gonna teach you. So for us to be in the same place and for us to direct kids to and from each other is important. But you was gonna say something.
Well, just look at the legacy of Ed Darnell. I mean, Mike's father. Like I just remember all the stuff he did. I mean, I just remember, being at the JFK. Walking down from the J. Kenzie at the Seam Center, and him starting that program, and that building and everything, and then he got me a job, a great job when I was 17 years old.
Right,
he go walk in this place, go talk to this lady. She's gonna give you a job. You're not even going to a temp agency.
Right.
Like we don't have people like that no more.
Right.
It's almost like that. Like you get what I'm saying. Like he did that for so many people. Like, and then he's just coaching. I remember when I was in middle school and he was whooping the Steelers in them butt, and he came up there and helped the coaching staff, and now we can't beat him no more.
Right.
So he was like, man, we didn't let my son and them lose and stuff like that. It's like, but like present fathers, like we don't have that. Like it's just like it's too far in between because everybody's so worried about themselves or social media or just certain things. It's like people in presence. Like my little man Alex Butcher, man, he came and his calmness helped me when I coached the kids at Blessed Sacrament, and he's on that side, and he's still there to this day.
Okay.
I got to give flowers to another man that a lot of people don't. They see his son balling on prep right now, but I remember what Rayford's Roberts did for a lot of East High kids.
Okay. What do you mean? Tell us a little bit about Ray. I remember Rayford's, man. That's one of the homies too.
He did. I remember him doing a lot. I remember him putting them in basketball leagues, like kind of like his own teen center movement. Like, you know, like putting them all in the car, putting them in leagues, making sure that they was all right, helping them out every day for years.
Right.
You know, I remember him helping out a bunch of kids all over the place. I remember Rasan Powell. You know, I'm just remembering people as I get older, like, you know, helping people, like, you know, can't count all the countless things Corey did.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely Corey.
We see it every day now. He just finally starting to get his respect is due.
Right.
He don't ask for it or nothing like that. You know, the countless things he do.
Right.
You know what I mean? I basically say he gave me 3 more years of just, you know, seeing the real side of the AAU, you know, when the kids came from the 8th. But then I can't forget the people that started me off, like the San Machinos who did that from the ice.
Right.
Can't forget that on that side. Like, you know, they started it too. So like I said, I just want to talk about how everybody started, you know, this path for me. So.
Absolutely. And it's crazy. It's like the power of community, and we get to throw in some of these names out here, and you really realize and recognize who's has what going on and stuff like that. But then, like, on the flip side, and here's the thing, like, we've been running for like an hour, you know what I mean? I try not to saturate the show. We can keep it going. Like you said, when we first got it, we can go 8 hours. But lastly, what I like to do is I always like to acknowledge my guests for them to understand and realize, like, throughout all of the stuff that you talked about, all of the stuff that you have going on, all the praise that you've shown and stuff like that. And a lot of people come here and say, you know, I'm a modest person, I'm very humble, but like, you are an amazing person, bro. And I feel like you need to be acknowledged and identified for that. We need to praise you for that. We need to give you your flowers for that, because for somebody to say, you know, I'm involved in the mental health field, like, you know, I'm a self-sufficient person, you know, I'm motivated, I've been coaching, I'm over here donating my time, you know what I mean? I'll talk to anybody, I'll do all of these great things. It's like, a lot of us don't realize, or we don't even take in our own flowers or get it, or even look at our own resume. You understand what I'm saying? Like, for you to be able to sit here, like I said, to show love and then talk about some of the things that you've been through, some of the things that you've come through. And I'm pretty sure that your story is very, very deep and can get a lot deeper. Like, you definitely deserve to be acknowledged. You definitely deserve to be, you know what I mean? Like, we need more Donny Browns, and we need more people who are willing to give up their time. We need more people who are willing to be transparent and open to have a conversation. We need more people who are willing to offer their services in any capacity that they can. And I think that we, the people, when I say we, those people like you, people like I heard you say at the beginning, like, I don't talk that much on Facebook, but we all know, like, people will follow negativity and they'll put the negativity out there. So I'm encouraging us, some of us as leaders, and I consider you to be a leader, to be more vocal about the things that we do. And when I say that, I don't mean like to be bragging, but just like, hey, I got this going on. You can send kids here. Or, yo, bro, if you need somebody to talk to, you can talk to me. Or when I see you, I'm going to say what's up to you. So then that way we can kind of, like, I guess, poison our community with positivity. But I also feel like everybody needs to know how important they are, how powerful they are, how impactful they are. From sitting here and listening to every single thing that you had to say, man, like, you are an important person. You are an amazing man. I appreciate all the work that you've done. I appreciate the role, like, you've played in my life, from growing up to, you know, seeing y'all play basketball at the Y, to getting into Madden tournaments with y'all, and, you know, just being around you and Mike and cracking jokes and laughing and stuff like that. And I feel like everybody needs to know who you are, and everybody we need more Donny Browns. We need more Patrick Lyons. We need more Deontay Cools. We need more Cannon Walls. I could name every person I did on here, but I think we need to know it. And we need to speak up more, and we need to be more loud about it. You know what I mean? Like I said, we've been going for hours, but I'm going to ask you, like, just on that one right there, what's your take on that, as far as, like, the leaders in the community, or the people who, that's leaders, but positive people who can be the most impactful, influential, being so modest and being so quiet? Do you think we should be more vocal, or do you feel like our work is going to show for itself, like previous guests?
Well, and that's me. I feel like our work should show for itself, but I do like the people that is putting their work out there. I love the Jovan Johnsons and the Andre Hendersons. I love what they're doing. Like I said, I love what the Keystone kids are doing. I even love with the situation with, you know, with the Pietrovich in the prep, what he's doing. I never seen that at prep before until he got there.
Okay,
you know what I mean. So, like, I love what I'm seeing right now. I do love, but I'm just a quiet assassin.
Right.
I just like to, you know, the kids to know, and whoever I'm talking to, you know, like, you know,
right.
You know, I don't really care about all you know,
I
like,
understand.
you know that. But I mean, it's fine. When I give praise, when people do say yes, like, you know, when they do give me praise, I'm happy with that.
Okay.
But and I care, but I know what I'm doing.
Absolutely.
I'm confident and I know what I'm doing.
Absolutely.
You know, and I'm happy where I'm at.
Okay.
As long as I feel like I'm happy, I'm happy. But yes, what they doing, I love it. Like
Absolutely.
And I appreciate it. That's why I always like all their stuff. I like everybody's stuff, and I tell them all the time. Even before they started coaching, I was like, yo, y'all got to get into it. Y'all got to get, you know, because I love what I'm seeing, because I didn't see this when I was a kid. We only seen what we seen in the papers. We only had the newspaper.
Right.
And the majority of that stuff didn't show us this.
Yeah, we got the video. We got L Self doing the videos, Joe Vaughn Crosby doing the videos and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
L Self and Joe Vaughn and all of them. Like, I like that. I still watch their old stuff. I watch the stuff that he do, like, you know, that stuff when he was at Erie High and he was doing the videos. I just watched it the other day. And L Self already know. I was supposed to do this with him a long time ago.
I'm waiting for. That's a busy dude, man. I'm waiting for him too, but that's a busy dude.
Yeah, he already know. I feel bad because I talked to you first, and we were supposed to do this about 2 years ago.
Oh man, well, maybe you'll get him on here because of that. So I mean, it's good. But like, and the reason why I said that, it's important. And what I plan on doing is, like, we're having these conversations. Like, it's gonna go more than conversation. It's gonna be bigger than just a YouTube channel. And I'm putting some things together to where we all gonna be in a group, and I want to have some events to where we can kind of throw ideas around at each other, because when you talk about some of these people who I've sat down and had these conversations with, like, a lot of us have a lot of things going on to where we can have our own establishment to where we are helping each other as men. We are helping children around us. We are helping, like, even some of the ladies that need some support.
Absolutely.
Some of the other community leaders that need some support. Like, we're going to be more active. We're going to be more present. And it needs to be bigger than just us having conversations on social media and Facebook posts. So this is like it's a social experiment, man. Like, this is the first step to many steps for us to change the world, my man. Like, you know what I mean? So, and there will be some people who are going to be less quiet behind the scenes, but we know we can go to those people. But what I want us to do is have some type of fellowship, some type of community to where we all can know who's who we can send our people to, who we can talk to, who we can rely on, who can we lean on. Because, like I was telling somebody last night, like, I guarantee you, if I were to post a stat on, you know, on social media or something, I was to ask for some type of drug, or if I was to ask for a gun, like, my inbox would be filled with, oh, call this person, inbox this, don't tell them I sent you. But if I'm like, yo, who's somebody can teach my kids basketball? Who can I send my kid to talk about mental health? Nobody's going to say Donny Brown. You know what I mean? Nobody's going to say Deontay Cooley. So, like, the expectation is for us to build and for us to grow. And I want to have, you know, some type of establishment for us as men to first get together as men to be able to kind of talk about different things, build and grow. And then we just continue to go on and bleed into the community and pour into the community. But like I said, you know, like, we've been on here for an hour and some change, you know, and I know if people want more information, hopefully they'll reach out to you. If they want information from me, they reach out to me. But, like, before we go, I usually give people the opportunity, the last couple of minutes, you know, it is the Donny Brown Show. If you got any questions for me or any plugs you want to drop or anything you want to say before we go off, I'm going to let you go ahead and pass the mic to you. It's yours. It's your time to shine. What you got for us?
You talking about me?
Yeah.
I just, I'm here at the Teen Center 2 days a week. Majority of it is Monday and Wednesday. Usually get in here around 6 to 8. If you want to sign your kids up to come in here, it is free to come. It's a nice place for them. Like, we're in their studio right now. They also have a computer lab. They have an eat there where the kids do get fed. I help them out with basketball when I can. We're having a little league for the kids. So it's just something to do if they're not playing in the high school season or middle school season. They can just come down here and get with us, sign up though. But you have to go through the curriculums. They do have all types of classes for the kids, so they definitely have to do that. I would say this is a place to bring your kids to have some type of experience, because your kids will need to learn experience before they get in this real world anyway. So get some type of experience. So the social experiment with Deontay right here is beautiful. The experience of the Teen Center is beautiful. And I mean, if you have any questions, you could just ask me. I'm sorry if I don't get back to you. I don't really be on there too much, but I will answer some money at some point in time. So
okay, all right, well, we're gonna get you. Like, and again, like, I appreciate your time, and absolutely, I definitely agree with what they're doing down where Andrea is putting together down here at the YMCA Teen Center. Like, she's been working hard. I've been having plenty of conversations with her. Like, some of the things that she's talking about doing in here, and some of the things that she's talking about implementing is amazing. Like you said, we're sitting in her podcast studio. You know, I know that the kids, they be in here making music. Like, I heard a couple nice songs. They got the computer lab, the game, huh?
Right here, see that.
Oh yeah, then it's starting a gentleman's club.
Yeah,
Yeah, you know, they're working on that. They're working on starting a gentleman's club. I know Terrell Jackson got some things going over at the Booker T. Washington Center as well. So like, yeah, like a lot of great things are happening. You know what I mean? So like he said, if you need some place for your kids to go, they got the teen center down here at the YMCA. There's other different community centers, and from this social experiment, what we are learning is there are some great men in the community who are willing to have an impact on the life of their children.
It's a lot of great men.
Right. So again, like I appreciate everybody's time. I appreciate the likes. I appreciate the comments. Make sure that y'all subscribe to the channel, man. We next season we just might have some YouTube exclusive only interviews, and y'all ain't gonna be able to catch all of the interviews on Facebook Live, man. We trying to build. I keep saying I stay away from we are building something here at the social experiment, and we're going to continue to grow, and we're going to continue to thrive. We're going to continue to reach other people in our community, but we need the help of our community members. It does not take much to subscribe. The link is shared in the comment section. I'm going to share the link again. This is the link for you to subscribe to the Social Experiment podcast or YouTube channel. Please make sure you be on the lookout for us. And as I said before, gentlemen, there are some of you guys who want to be interviewed. Reach out to me. I got some people in my inbox. I'm working on the schedule. There are some people who I'm waiting to hear from, but we're going to keep this thing rolling. Again, Donny, I thank you for your time. I appreciate your time. Appreciate the YMCA for allowing us to use their studio. I appreciate the little ones for watching us and allowing us to come take up some of their time in the studio. I appreciate Andrea for allowing us to come be here and invite us. And I would strongly encourage more people to come down to the YMCA or go to any community center in your neighborhood, in your area, because community service is going a long way. It's helping a lot of people. It's very beneficial, and it is saving lives. Salute to you too, Gio. I appreciate everybody. But again, like, subscribe, share, talk about us, put us in the group chats, put us in the screenshots, all of that. We will continue to build. We will continue to grow. But meantime, between time, I got some business to take care of. So we're going to end this broadcast. Y'all have a good rest of your night and be safe.